Attention crew, it's time to make it so. Reporting for duty are your fearless co-hosts, Crewman PVG, bringing the logic, Crewman Magix, keeping it bold, and Crewman Tommy, ready with the photon torpedo of hot takes. From classic episodes to new frontiers, Klingon phrases to Starfleet trivia, no quadrant is off limits. So grab your tricorder, set your phasers to fun, and prepare for another warp speed ride through the final frontier. This is Technically Trek.
Laying a course, maximum warp.
I can't.
Engage.
Oh, here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
What up?
We are live. I am Crewman Tommy, and thank you for joining this live episode of the Technically Trek podcast, where we talk about Star Trek and Star Trek adjacent stuff. And here with me real quick. Wait, who wants to go first?
I will, because I don't mess mine up.
Go ahead.
I'm magic, and I put the in fun for now until I come up with a better one.
And I'm PVG, rerouting power to fun.
That is so not, man. Come on, man. You have a double barrel.
You've used
shot
the last
ready to go.
3 episodes with the same.
You know, PVG kind of reminds me of the scientist who's always talking about 3-Eye Atlas. Like the way he's got that blue light in his hair.
Which guy's that?
Wow.
What's his name?
Can we?
Are you talking about the Asian scientist?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know what his. If you say his name, I'll know who you're talking about.
That Japanese dude
Yeah.
with the long hair. Yeah.
Does he have long hair? I've never looked at his hair.
Yamamoto. I don't know.
No. Maybe.
Wow, blue
You
hair.
can say those things, but I can't.
Look at that. Shoot.
That's a style. That's a vibe, as the kids would say.
I'm gonna.
That's a fit.
6'7", as the kids would say.
Old.
Do you hear that when you're at school?
They talk about it, but I don't know. I don't know what it means.
It doesn't actually have a meaning.
Yeah.
No meaning. I just when I hear people say it, I want to do I want to hold like a little sampler and do the Willy Wonka 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot.
Well,
Just so I can annoy them. So they stop saying it because it makes absolutely no fucking sense. But then again, there's a meme going around. Millennials and Gen Xers bitching about 6'7" when we were the ones that were going around going like, "Oh, my name is Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole." Oh, my bunghole.
Yeah, but even those things had meaning.
They had meaning to us, but they didn't have meanings to our older generation.
Yeah, but even to the kids today, 6'7" has no meaning. It's just a thing they like to say.
Oh, well, then they're just stupid.
Hello in the
Sorry
chat.
for all the children of my friends that are out there. I'm calling you stupid.
Crewman Karen and Trekbot. Oh no, that's not Trekbot. That is Crewman Sherry. She's now a Mexican citizen now. I think she got her citizenship.
wow. Really? Hola.
Yeah. Married some dude down there named Javier.
Oh,
Are you serious?
are you rocking the van life down there?
Congrats.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I just realized that Big E is on.
Big E. Oh, yeah, because our times overlap now.
Gotcha.
Because of the Arizona changing their time. By not changing, they change. It's kind of weird how that works.
All right. I got to focus. I'm trying to get to ours so I can chat with people.
6'7" spells ho in the periodic table. 6'7"
Oh.
ho in the periodic. Oh, who's got their speaker on?
That was mine. That was mine. My bad.
Sound check. Sound check. What's
That's dumb.
what's dumb?
At 6, they that's a stretch. That seems like an adult stretch.
Yeah, that's too smart for them, crewman Karen.
Yeah, first of all, they would have to know what the periodic table is,
Right.
and then know the elemental weight of it.
I think they did away with the periodic table.
I
They
wouldn't be
don't.
surprised.
They don't teach that in school anymore.
It's fake news. Fake news. That's why.
Yeah. The periodic table is, I don't know, what is it, racist or something? They don't teach it. Oh, there's Crewman Magics in the chat. So we're real people. We're not bots. See, if you say move to the left, then we move to the left. I guess bots could do that too.
They can.
Crewman Sherry says DJT is telling tall tales.
Yeah.
So you're not married?
She's not married to a man named Javier.
So I still have a chance?
His name is actually
And there's a
Francisco.
chance. Her name
She went
is
to
Maria.
she went to where crewman. What was the lieutenant's name on the show? She went to Barcelona. She had a song
We
written
just
about her.
watched it, and I don't remember. We just watched episode 4 of season 1 of Lower Decks. It just gets us in the mood, gets us in the Trek spirit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, there's a lot of Trekkiness. Lower Decks is very Trekky.
Oh yeah, dude. There's always a callback to multiple episodes or multiple series.
Moriarty.
The Moriarty one for Picard. So I think the PVT you brought up, his boots had the Starfleet Delta on the bottom.
Right.
I think that was more a Easter egg to Toy Story, where Andy's name is on the bottom of the boot, because I think one of the animators worked with it. I think that was like a weird Easter egg throwback. But yeah, that kind of is one of the things that got me hooked on the show when it first came out, was not only just the comedy and the pacing of it, and there will be some shows that get a little bit slower paced, but it's like all comedy shows got that way. I'm assuming Friends got that way in Seinfeld, even though I never watched I've never watched a single full episode of Seinfeld or Friends. But I know that there had to be slow moments, just like any comedy show has had. But Lower
Now,
Decks has them.
did you ever watch an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yes.
How about
The Office.
Moesha?
No. I think I may have watched a Moesha episode.
How
and
about
it-
living single?
Actually, no, I did. I think I watched it was like a holiday pack on HBO. It was like each of the, so it like had all the holiday episodes, like from Friends. It had all the because Big Bang Theory always has a holiday episode.
Did
And,
you
like,
ever watch Big Bang?
Oh yeah, definitely did. I've done rewatches of Big Bang, and it's about that time to do it again. I have not done a full rewatch of How I Met Your Mother, though. But so anyway, back to your question. Those other shows, I think I watched the holiday episodes of them while I was cooking Thanksgiving dinner or something. But that's as much. I didn't actually watch it. It just played in the background while I was cooking. But Lower Decks, it has a couple of episodes. It's very few and far between, but it has a couple of moments in some episodes where it slows down. But for the most part, it's kind of fast paced, funny. It's got that Rick and Morty / Futurama / American Dad kind of pacing. Even a little bit of The Simpsons pacing through the entire
There's
thing.
only one thing that it's missing. There's not a lot of Scooby-Doo running scenes.
Yeah. I'm glad they don't do that.
Ruh-roh.
Nope.
We kind of missed that from the animated series.
I take it back. I think there is an episode where they do that. And it may be the finale because they're going through a bunch of little time shifts. So one moment they're on the Cerritos, which is a California class, and then it changes it to a Constellation class, and then a Galaxy class. And I think at some point there's a similar episode where the animation changes and they're animated like the TOS animated series. Again, as a throwback.
I think it's a pretty good writing for a cartoon, and too bad
it's not a cartoon.
It's much more entertaining. It's way more entertaining than the animated series from.
I almost wish it was live.
Maybe it will be.
Yeah, I hope.
I think that's one of the things
they
being.
do go live.
Yeah, except for that one episode, in Strange New Worlds.
No, I think that's one of the pitches that they're making to Skydance right now is a live half-hour comedy.
Star Trek, lighten up, have comedy, and that's what we need right now.
So Tawny Newson, who plays Mariner, is negotiating a half-hour comedy show. I don't know if it's going to be animated or live action. I think it would be awesome if it's live action, but I think and unfortunately, I don't want to be right on this. As much as I love Lower Decks as the animation, because you could get away with so much, I think having a live action half-hour comedy show for Star Trek would be better. I think Paramount Sundance would cop out if they tried to do another animation show that's not Lower Decks, but it's the new Tawny Newson show.
Yeah, I don't see them doing an animation.
It's supposed to be based on not necessarily Bob Newhart, but I guess it's they're at a resort type thing. It's about a resort where different species come, kind of like a Risa. I just think that would be better if it was live action. Spend the money, get some guest stars that pop in there every once in a while. I think it would just be funny. And one of the articles that I was reading right before the show is how this merger, whoever's in control, just isn't listening to the fans. Isn't listening to the right fans to grow the franchise. All and I'm going to call them old people because that includes our age, but a lot of the older people are wanting this Archer show, which kind of like how Thomas said, it bottlenecks a show. The beginning, the end, you're filling in the gap, and there's only so much you can fill in unless it's a large event, like the Khitomer Accords, the Romulan War, the Klingon War, and they're just talking about Archer becoming president and having kids. That's like Blue Bloods in outer space is how I'm seeing this. And I was like, dude, I think more people want to watch this Tawny Newson show or another show with 7 of 9, kind of like Academy, going off and following up what happened at the end of Picard. You're opening up a whole new world, a whole new cast structure. You are literally being given a clean break from the past actors of typecasting the same actors. You don't have to have them come in, but they could come in as cameos. But break away from the existing structure of Kirk and Spock and Picard and Riker and Janeway and Chakotay. And Archer them, because all those people, with the exception of some off the crew of Voyager, are too old to play the parts. Now, Riker and Picard are obviously going to play. They're already older in real life. They're older in the timeline of Star Trek. They can make cameos. Archer can't make a cameo.
Well, Picard's a robot now, isn't he?
Yeah, Picard's in a synthoid body. He can make a comeback. Data can make a comeback. The EMH can make a comeback.
But they would be AI because I don't know if they're... Well, Data's not super old yet, but it doesn't make sense that Data's getting old.
Data aged himself. Even in All Good Things, Data gave himself that awkward white
Yeah.
stripe in his hair. So Data is not necessarily old, but he in real life he's old. So he could say, "I want to age along with my friend Picard." I think I think from Data's aspect of wanting to be human, I think it would be very awkward to be hanging out with your best friend who's 100 and something, and you look like you're 30. That don't look right.
But because they're both synth, they should both be able to make themselves look young.
But for Star
Karen, Crewman
Trek-
Carrie asked if we finished Con. I did finish Con. I think the guys did too as well. But
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it Monday. So by today, I kind of wish it didn't come out on Monday, because if you watch it Monday and then you try to come talk about it 6 days later, I only
I've been
remember
waiting.
very few things.
I know. I remember a lot of it. I waited till I think Wednesday to listen to it.
We'll do a quick rundown to refresh our memory.
Well, that was the finale of Con. This is kind of the thing. They do have an ability. There is some open avenues to continue, but ultimately we know the end. So spoiler alert, and just letting you know now, the chick that is doing the research is Khan's daughter.
Dr.
Bam.
Greer.
And you
So-
mentioned that episodes ago, so you figured it out.
Yeah, I kind of got a hint that it was her. Because as soon as she said that, I don't remember the dude's name, the alien gave her the tapes. She literally meant the alien handed her the bag that had the tapes in it. But my question is this. So, and I had mentioned before that they were probably going to have an explosion and that the aliens were going to make it seem like the ship exploded, and, you know, that's what made him snap ultimately. And I was right on that. He did kind of snap after that. He had no reason to live, just wanted vengeance, just wanted revenge on Kirk. He saw Kirk as none of this would have happened if Kirk had never abandoned him. Not anything to do with, oh, well, maybe if one of my people didn't kill this alien, or if I didn't do this. He skipped over all of that responsibility, went back in time in his mind, and picked the one person he could blame that set everything in motion, kind of like the first domino to fall, instead of just owning up to his own fuck ups. Del Mondo, yeah. My question is this: what happened to Del Mondo and the rest of his crew? Because Callie, and there is one alien that left off, and she says they grew old and they died more recently. So we get that. That's been several years. But what happened to the rest of the alien crew that was left on the planet? Because I don't know if all of them ran out of the caves when the ship. So apparently, when the ship launched, it triggered this massive cave-in of exhaust gas and everything, and everybody had to get out of the caves, or else they were going to be roasted alive. And obviously, some of Khan's people made it, but they don't say whether or not any of the aliens made it out of any of the other holes that they were staying out of. So I thought that was interesting. And why, even if they died, how come Tuvok, after all this has been said, because this is the first time we're hearing about this other alien species, why didn't they look up their bodies, like their bones, their DNA, anything? Like, that's literally almost a dead species. Or now there's another home planet. They can be like, yo, you sent these people off. They died on this planet. We just want to let you know. You know, they do that with everyone else. If they find bones, like, oh, well, let's notify them. Let's let them know. They didn't do that with this alien species. I thought that was weird. But yeah, I thought it was really good production, really good soundscape. I really hope they come up with some, you know what? If you want to make an Archer show about him being president, this would be an awesome format to do that in. And I would listen to that. I don't want to watch old ass Sam Beckett playing a spaceman having kids. Literally, the way they.
Well, he would be old because he's the president.
No, dude, I literally don't want to watch Blue Bloods or what is that other one, West Wing in outer space. I don't want to see that. I mean, unless you're gonna invest in like a up front and be like, yo, we're gonna run for 5 seasons, and we're gonna have a recast of Archer coming straight off of the platform for where he gave his commencement speech, where Riker was like, all right, end program. Unless you're gonna come off right after that and kind of fill in the gaps and have everything that was going on, like the formation of the Federation, the implications of Section 31, pulling the strings in the background, or have it be a code, how that came to be. Unless you're gonna fill in the gaps on everything and you commit to it, I don't want to watch it.
Well, think about, like you just mentioned, Blue Bloods, right? Tom Selleck is old, but he's only got about 10 minutes of screen time an episode. The rest, his kids are doing, like, he's got several kids that are cops. His daughter's like a district attorney.
But
I think that's what the plan. I think that's the plan for this show is Archer would be President Archer, but they're going to introduce his kids, and his kids are going to be into different things. Like, I think one of them might be into shenanigans. One of them might be.
Yeah. So no Star Trek at all.
Well, I mean, they would be on starships.
Why would they be on starships? They're on the planet. President's on the planet.
The president is, but his kids are out exploring space.
Yeah, that's. You know what, Sherry? If you want to make my Section 31 comments a drinking game,
no, that's Karen.
I will. Or I'm sorry, Karen. I will wholeheartedly take part in that as soon as I can open this bottle, and I will.
Hey,
I will
saw
take
a bottle of Stag
so
at
take a shot.
Tux.
Anytime I say anytime anyone says Section 31,
drink.
yeah, take a shot.
Oh my.
But I don't want to see that show. The show you're describing, I don't want to see it. I don't want to. It serves. When I watch Star Trek, I want to see some kind of action. That's why I said in even in Picard there was action.
I think
That's
it's
what
like
I'm saying,
comfort.
like a show like Academy.
People are just comfortable with Scott Bakula. They're comfortable with Archer.
They're old as fuck. That's what they're comfortable with. I want to watch my Star Trek and sit on my rocker. Oh, that's what I want. That's literally what it is. It's nothing to do with what sci-fi action do politics. What sci-fi-ness is there about this show?
How much did they discuss of what this is going to be about?
Well, the writer did an interview.
President.
The writer did an interview with like the Sci-Fi podcast or something, and he gave a lot of details of what he's already written.
So this isn't even concrete. It's still up in the air, right?
It's up in the air totally, but he's already written scripts for it. So this is the scripts that he's, I guess, given to Paramount or Skydance.
I'm sure there's other writers that wrote scripts that's never been even looked at.
Yeah, but see, what you got to think about though is Paramount loves Scott Bakula because of his history with Paramount.
Right.
Quantum Leap,
NCIS, and
I'd watch it. Bad Star Trek, good Star Trek. At least it's Star Trek. I'd watch it.
Somebody left a comment on one of our shorts that said there is no such thing as bad Trek.
Yeah, you know what this show would be? This show would fill in the gap between like now and when Starfleet Academy comes on. But that's only if I didn't decide to rewatch Big Bang Theory.
I'm good. I'm still half full.
Or pretty much any other show.
I'm still good.
Oh, wait. There is something else. Black Ops 7 comes out in like a week. So, sorry. Yeah, I got nothing to I got no time to watch your Blue Blood show of Archer.
Blue Trek.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it'd be interesting at all. Like, especially
Well,
after
you never know.
We just came off of Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks.
Well, we got
I'm missing a third one.
Academy coming out soon. So we got 2 seasons minimum of Academy. We got 2 more seasons of Strange New Worlds minimum, 4 and 5.
Yeah, I'd rather them take the time and money and put it in a show. Like you were saying, man, stop. As much as we are now that generation that wanted Star Trek to cater to us, and because of that, we got Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks,
Kelvin,
and I forgot what's the third one I'm missing.
Picard.
That's what we push for. Our generation pushed for those. Now we need to push for expanding the generation to the younger crowd to get them excited about it.
I don't know if we push for Discovery.
Watch a political show or a drama with no kind of Academy is the best option for that. That's like the 90210 with some action in it. Well, load on the action part and include some of those Academy members on a ship with 7 of 9. You know, you have ties to the old generation, but you're bringing in a new generation of core members or a core crew of Star Trek that can then carry the franchise into new movies.
So if you got to vote between Star Trek United, starring Archer as the president, or Star Trek Legacy with 7 of 9 captaining her own ship, you're voting.
Legacy.
Who are you voting for?
Legacy and live action Lower Decks.
I mean, I'll vote Legacy for sure. I want to get out of this prequel timeline.
That's what the other thing that I'm saying. It was a nice visit, unless you're going to do a timeline that is purely about a Mako unit infiltrating the Klingon homeworld during the Battle of Kittimer, or the Romulan worlds. Like, you know what? Take a show like The Unit, SEAL Team 6. Make a Star Trek show out of that and have that be set in the past.
The Makos.
You could have the Makos. You could have an elite unit. You know what? You could have a... What was the show
Makos
that came
fighting Khan. The Makos capturing Khan and putting him in cryo.
No, because that limits you to that's just one scenario.
Right. That would be one episode of a podcast.
I mean, I even thought about this. Okay, you don't want to have it be all action. Here's an awesome thing that I think will work well because no one has done it. China Beach was the other show I was thinking of. Make a China Beach, but make it Star Trek. And have it take place during the Klingon War. So you have like M'Benga, that generation. So you can have that style of shooting, but it's like a mobile medical unit that's just going around from sector to sector during the Klingon War. And they're just doing like, it's almost like a less than a Grey's Anatomy. It's more like a China Beach or a MASH. And have it be like MASH in Star Trek.
You know, a while back, there was talks of Quentin Tarantino doing a Star Trek movie.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what would be funny is if they did something like a Pulp Fiction, where they're just sitting in a
would be
like
awesome.
Quarks.
That'd be interesting.
They're just sitting at Quarks, and Quarks gets robbed.
Yeah,
I thought about that as well. Like, I was like, how is Quentin Tarantino? And they said it was going to be very dark. But then I realized
I can't give you what's in this briefcase.
Picard got kind of dark. Some of the other and Strange New Worlds got kind of dark. And now that I see how dark moments can be in Star Trek, by dark I mean adult content, blood, gore, that kind of thing.
Adult-oriented TVMA.
I think Tarantino could make a pretty good movie.
Because he would focus on conversation and storytelling.
Right. And then the action would be just No one's
yeah.
talking. It's just action.
And
It's action.
and he wouldn't do like. I was watching some DS9 today, and some of the explosions. I forgot what episode it was. Well, I'll have to look at my notes because I went through like 5 episodes today, and one of the episodes there was a Cardassian freighter. Oh, I remember the episode now. Eddington. So they were hunting down Eddington.
Oh, okay, yep.
And they had Eddington. There were 2 Maquis fighters, and they blew up one of the Maquis ships, and then the other one had Eddington in it. But what he did was he fired upon a Cardassian freighter transport that was evacuating the planet because the Maquis had let loose like a chemical agent on this planet, and the Cardassians could not survive on it, so they were evacuating.
Like, you can get me or you could save them. It's the classic Superman, Batman scenario. Do you go after me or do you save the innocents that I'm put in danger?
Yeah. And so Cisco chose to save the Cardassian transport, with a bunch of Cardassians on it. But then later in the episode, because Cisco was totally like Captain Ahabing on Eddington.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was obsessed with catching Eddington because he got played. I mean, Eddington
played a couple of times.
Played Cisco bad several times, and then they even sent that other captain from the Malinche or whatever other ship was. And
I
they
laughed
said
when they did that. They were like, "Yo, you ain't cutting it, bro."
And then that dude got disabled like instantly by Eddington.
Right.
No, but I was thinking, so Eddington played Cisco, just pulled so many tricks on Cisco, and Cisco was just obsessed with catching him. And so in the end, Cisco did what Eddington was doing, and he released chemical agents on the Maquis colonies. And I'm thinking, damn. I mean,
oh yeah.
Is the Federation okay with that?
And I don't mean just because the actor's black. I mean, he went dark as in evilish.
He went dark in many facets, but that was evil. And I'm surprised he didn't have some repercussions. Like, because then you start thinking, damn, are the Maquis really that bad? I mean, all they're trying to do is kill the Cardassians.
No, so here's the thing, and this kind of goes towards what Karen was saying. Star Trek has always been political, and this is why this kind of ties in with today's society, like right now. The Maquis are all the citizens of the United States that are all about keeping their guns, getting rid of the bullshit politicians and corrupt cops that are out there that are making our lives hell. And they're like, you know what? We can do a better job without you. Stay the fuck out of our way. That's what the Maquis are. And the Federation is the government saying, no, we are here to protect you. You need to let us protect you in the way that we're going to protect you. Even though it's not really protecting you, you have to let us do what we can. And this is where the crack in the paradise of Starfleet really, for me, started to show. It was kind of like, what was the episode we watched where they were like, you know what, go get those dudes. Shit, I don't remember I can't even think of what series it was, but it was like a commander sent, it was Kai Wynn sent out the entire Bajoran military after 6 war heroes that were now being labeled as insurgents or whatever. And she didn't want to be like, okay, let's just go and talk and negotiate or whatever. Let's ask for another one. She's like, no, we want your equipment now. We're not going to use it for 6 months, but we want it now. We're not going to let you use it right now because we're going to have it now and hold it. You need to give it to us now, even though we don't plan on using it for like 6 or 7 more months. That's where Starfleet started to show like, it's not just the Kai Wen at her little sec. This is happening with Star. Hold, please. This is what's happening with Star Trek or Starfleet as well, because of possibly Section 31 influence. I'm just going to leave that out. So I think
Like
if
that new
Tarantino did a show, I think it would be a lot more dark in that manner, a lot more gore. This I keep trying to remember the word, and I never remember it when we're doing the show, about how everyone thinks, oh, a utopia. Everyone thinks Starfleet is a utopia, and it's not. It's a falsehood. It's like I said with the Maquis. We're gonna make sure you're safe. We're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna give you, 0.5 liters of water every day. And the Maquis are saying, well, we can just dig our own well and do it ourselves and get 3 liters a day per person. No, but you can't do that. You have to let us give you 0.5 liters of water, even though we know you're gonna lose 5% of your population from dehydration. You can't do anything else. You have to let us do it. And that utopia aspect of Starfleet is where, even in Strange New Worlds, it was popping out. Definitely in Picard, it was definitely showing. And that's why I think we really need a 7 and 9 led crew that can kind of showcase more of this and be like, all right, first of all, we're going to find out what happened to the Vulcans, or not the Vulcans, the Klingons and all the other worlds that were out there after this burn or whatever. Fill in that gap and then go out and discover the rest of the world and how the rest of the galaxy now views Starfleet as, you're a fucking joke. And Starfleet literally is what I see as a blueprint of what the American government is. Started out as a great hope and a dream. It was bright, it was utopiatic, everything was grand and great, and then slowly started to deteriorate, and people slowly started losing faith in this falsehood that was laid out. And they're now discovering this falsehood of what was laid out because the original founders of it are finally dying.
Well, it's only a utopia if it fits, or if you fit into the mold of that utopia, or that utopia has for you. It's like let's say when you're coming up in the Federation, because I think this is really like the Federation as a whole. It's
right.
Not just Starfleet. Like
You're
in
right.
the Federation, you have a role to play to contribute to the Federation. But what if you just decide one day, I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to be a scientist or whatever. I want to, I want to be a club promoter or something.
Like the Bajorans, when they had the other prophet come back from the time warp or whatever, and they were like, oh, you've gone away from what your last name says that you do. Oh, Kira, you're not a security officer. Your last name means you're a poet. You have to be a poet. We need to take Bajor back to, you got to do what your class is. Yeah, and that same thing holds with Star Trek now. Like, oh, well, because I always wondered, you have a Galaxy-class starship going across the stars, and they're dropping off water reclamations and replicator machines and transport bays. Yet these people look like they're on a farm in a big dust bowl, and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you not dropped off some building materials, some engineers? Help these motherfuckers make some non-clay, houses. Like, build up a city, even a small compound is better than what looks to be just clay huts. Now, granted they were budget wise, but still, every planet they went to was like that, and they had, oh, they're in the Federation. What are they offering them other than raw material? Oh, they're offering us mining rights.
Friendship.
And I'm sure if here's what I want here, and these are the things that I would want to see in a 7 to 9 show. They go to a planet
Body suits.
that is in the Federation, and one of the students is like, why are they in the Federation? It's just a small clay and mud village. And then she's like, oh, well, they give us mining rights. And you go to the mining compound, and it's all modern technology, like structures, metal structures for the buildings. They got a cantina. They got a galley there, almost like a post, like an old school post would actually, built buildings. And then they go to the only living inhabitants on the planet that they negotiated this with, and they're still in clay huts, barely have any kind of little clothes or anything like that. They look like they're, from the Wild Wild West, was a 1917 from the Yellowstone period. And it's like, dude, they're plowing with horses, and you got an automated machine doing the same work. And this dude's sitting there sweating like, oh yeah, we gotta get the harvest in. And you got a machine that could do it, and you're not offering it to them. Clearly, they need it, but you're not offering to help.
What if they came up with a show, because we were talking about the comedy possibility, and then there's obviously Academy's already ready to go. It's coming out. And then this possibility of Legacy. But what if they came up with something like DS9 just at a different space station? Like somewhere
DS7.
somewhere where the traffic is a little different, right? And it's not just Bajorans, because Bajorans are kind of boring.
That's what I was talking about. That's the MASH unit.
Yeah,
it's because the DS, the deep space stations can move. And I think somewhere they said they are capable of warp travel and burst. So the MASH unit would literally go to areas where you're not in the middle of a battle zone, but you treat all the patients from the battle area or the planet if they're going to whatever.
What about the Starbase?
That kind of show.
What if they had a Starbase near Ryza? So you basically have all these people going on vacation.
Oh, you got to get your shots done before you can go to Ryza.
Yep.
Or you just came back from Ryza and you caught something.
Right.
Yo, Star Trek Scrubs.
Awesome.
Yes,
That would be an awesome show.
Yeah,
Scrubs
so
and Star Trek.
all these species that go to Ryza, I mean, every species in the Federation goes to Ryza so that they can get their party on. And so it could be like it would be like the Love Boat meets, I don't know what. I mean, it would be crazy.
Did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yeah.
I'm totally seeing Scrubs on as a blueprint for that show. But I think if you threw a MASH in there as well with some military aspect here and there, you got to have a little salt and pepper. You got to have the comedy is a big thing, but occasionally, even with Scrubs, you got occasional serious scenes.
Yeah. But I think they need something with just so much variety of traffic, because I think that's what got. I mean, I'm still watching DS9. I'm doing my rewatch now. I think I just finished episode 15 of season 5.
Kay says the biofilters would take care of it.
No, it won't, because the biofilters don't take care of shit every time there's an issue going on.
They're supposed to take care of it,
but they don't. Yo, new show. You're traveling medical
Star Trek Plan B. Star Trek Plan B.
No, but you go from ship to station fixing biofilters that didn't catch the shit.
Nasty.
Installing Wi-Fi on every starbase, something like Art would do.
I'm on season 5. I'm on episode 23.
Star Trek
season 5.
Star Trek Plan B is on a starbase right outside of Ryza. If something happens that you didn't want to happen on Ryza, you got to go to the starbase 107 or whatever it is. and you got to get that
Get
that
it
hook
chopped
up.
off or whatever.
Yep.
Oh,
You got to get that shot.
oh,
I think they could also do a Starbase 80, like how Lower Decks. So that I don't know. Oh, you guys haven't gotten to it yet.
You mean a Starbase 6-7?
No, Starbase 80. You'll see it. You'll get it when it comes up. Where they always got to go and fix shit, but yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, and
All are
if
better than this Star Trek United show.
yeah, I think DS9 to me. I mean, if you look at the Prime 3, TNG, Voyager, and DS9, TNG was for your old heads. You know, TNG was your classic Star Trek it up.
That was your bring in the Kirk and Scotty and McCoys.
Solve
bring
the
them
problem.
to the new feature.
right.
Yeah, use your brain to solve the problem. That was TNG. DS9 was, you know, like Star Trek version kind of Love Boat, except there was no love really. There was love. I guess there was a little bit of love. What's that?
I
Is that
actually
the
saw
wind?
DS9 more like a China Beach.
Okay.
Just because it wasn't very Love Boat, I think comedy. DS9, I don't see comedy in there at all.
No, not at all.
So I think it was a little bit more serious. I
then
was going to say
Voyager-
MASH, but again, no comedy in DS9. DS9 was more like a China Beach or an ER or a Saint Elsewhere.
Yeah.
It was very much a occasional lull moment of what is it? We call it
was.
an
It
anime?
was like a Saint Elsewhere.
slice of life.
ER. Yeah, it was like ER.
Yeah, it was more like an
Who's
ER.
Who's coming in? Who are they bringing in today?
Right.
And then Voyager is like your TNG on steroids in a way, where it's just you're just going planet to planet. Every episode, there's always going to be something going on. Like,
Yeah, but I think what they try to do is what I'm envisioning the 7 and 9 show to be. I think they were trying to expand the universe, but I think they did it too fast and without really thinking about how they were going to do it. Because think about it. This was one of the first shows that didn't ever really bring up anything from TNG or the original series. Very rarely do they talk about, other than the beginning when they got sent off and the occasional Barclay and Deanna Troi plot. They never really went back to any of the other series. I think they were trying to expand it to a newer, younger generation, especially because they even said we're bringing in Jerry Ryan to bring in that crowd. I think they did it not in the best way. And then you had Enterprise come in to try and save them by being like, oh, well, you know, the old heads are still here. They're not really watching Voyager, and streaming services weren't really a thing at the time. So unless you had the DVDs or the VHSs,
yeah, they definitely were the thing.
They're rewatching it that way, or they're watching other shows. So they bring in Enterprise, and they're like, ooh, before there was Pike, before there was Kirk, there was Archer. Look at the first Enterprise. And that, I think, is what hooked in the
Thursdays
old
on
generation.
UPN.
Or
And that-
Fridays. Maybe
That's
even
partially it
Wednesdays.
as well. That legitimately is partially what killed the franchise, was that hopping into the networks and changing the nights.
Yeah.
And that is controlled by somebody who doesn't watch the show, but just looks at numbers compared to other shows that are not like Star Trek and how well they perform. They look at ratings of a show on a certain night, and when they don't mesh, your first slot is to get moved to Friday nights, the death slot.
By the way, this is episode 39. 39 weeks of
39. 39.
Trey no. I got no sign for it. Yeah, we've been doing this. I mean, we're still young compared to most every other Star Trek podcast. We're pretty young, but you know, we're making moves. And
We
here's
only look young because we're minorities.
now PVG. Have you pre-ordered this already?
No, I have not.
Because instead you bought Milwaukee Tools.
Yes.
Okay.
$400. I can't. I just don't have the room.
3,600 Lego pieces. I'll tell you this: I have never bought a Lego set.
When I was a kid,
I don't think even when I was a kid, I ever bought a Lego set of more than like 10 pieces.
Happy
when I was
Meals don't count. Because I know that's where you're going with.
I
used to
can't.
get
I can't
kid
put.
Happy Meals
I
with the
can't
Legos.
put a Lego together. I don't know. I don't know why I could never do this.
You didn't read the instructions.
True.
when I was a kid, my Legos were 90 degrees, you know, and it would be a rectangle or a square, nothing like the
What's okay?
Enterprise
$400. What would you buy this at? 100, 200, 300. You're gonna buy this at 400. I already know it.
No,
I already know you're buying this.
No.
You've already pre-ordered.
No.
What's
You're
the
trying
max
to- now
price
you're-
you would pay for that?
What would you pay for this?
$50? No, maybe
lying.
100.
It comes with that free shuttlecraft with who is that?
It looks like
Ro
it's a
Lauren?
row.
Yeah.
Oh well, hell, I'll
500. 500.
Dude,
Karen would pay 200.
200. Nah, I do 100, if that. I mean, there's so much Star Trek stuff out there.
Do you have a place to even put this together?
No. Yeah, I have to show
Your
you my
dining
shelf.
room table?
Yeah.
The hood of
Yeah.
Kit.
I have no place I could even put this together. Where would you put 3,600 Lego pieces?
My shelf is
How
full.
do you? You're telling me that there's an instruction book that tells you what to do with 3,600
Yes.
Lego pieces? Hell
Yes.
no, I ain't doing that.
I could do it. It would.
That's too much work.
So I
it would
always
be
thought that as well.
satisfying to me.
And one day I just ended up watching a Lego documentary. So let's take one of the nacelles. It literally tells you, all right, grab some, because they all come in bags. Like, okay, grab 3 out of bag A, 7 out of bag G,
right.
and then it tells you how to assemble them, and then it says set this aside. And so you do that, and so you build smaller pieces that then stack together. But yeah, you have to keep it all organized
Yeah,
out and whatnot.
Definitely.
How long would this take to put together? A month?
I mean, are you on cocaine
Right. It would depend if you're on cocaine
or meth?
Cocaine.
or something. Speed.
Look at
whatever.
this, 18 plus. Like they ain't even trying to say it's for kids.
No kid is going to know what the Enterprise is.
18 plus. There's some
Why
nasty
not
parts in
say
there.
13 plus?
And
There
no
must be gel
kid is going to
patches.
have $400 lying around. Because let's be honest, that's
Yeah.
going to come out to about $435 with tax. Oh, and it's just got to ship. You're easily clearing $450, $460.
Dude, you could 3D print this for $50.
If I got this as a gift for
The
Christmas,
pieces, you could print the pieces for $50.
yeah, I wouldn't.
They're $399.99. Don't forget that 99. $399.99.
Legos, period, are
Everything. Yeah,
expensive.
Legos are like if you go to Target and look at the Legos,
unbelievable.
yeah, it's crazy.
Just
like
plastic. It's
like
like
a little
gold.
Barbie set is like $60 for like 80 pieces. I'm like, man, get out of here.
That's because you got influencers influencing.
Right.
Now, mind you, so this is why I don't like influencers. These are the exact same Legos we all grew up with as children.
Sure.
You remove the stickers off of them because all these stickers are put on afterwards. They're the same legit Legos we paid for as a kid that are now just based on the sheer number is $500 with some random ass stickers that anyone with a Cricut can print out.
Oh, and that's another thing I heard. Somebody actually, a few people, some of the Lego, like whatever, like partners, they've already gotten advanced copies of this. And they're disappointed that there's a lot of stickers that come with this. Like for $400, they thought, these decals should be printed on the pieces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they should be painted on decals. Why are we having to put stickers on after we put this big ass thing together? Now we got to put on like 200 stickers.
Crewman Sherry says, Magic, you are an influencer.
That's not Crewman. Is that Crewman Sherry?
Yeah, she changed her brand.
Cool SL.
SIL.
Yeah, I'm not an influencer. I'm just a podcaster. I'm not telling you to go buy shit or not buy shit. I don't give a dang if you buy it or not. I tried to not drop an F-bomb. Influencers say, don't buy this because this is the cool thing.
I got a counter going because I got to clean them up afterwards. So, yeah, we talked about Kelvin. Kelvin is done. And it was big news earlier this week. Unfortunately, our podcast is not until Sunday. But I think like around Wednesday, they announced that Star Trek Kelvin, Star Trek 4, that they were hoping to do is done.
No.
I was hoping for one more. Honestly, to break the chain. To break the chain of threes.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
Well, it's done. We'll survive, though. We'll survive. I mean, it probably wasn't going to happen anyway. So it's good to just say, you know what? It ain't going to happen. It's kind of like when you got this girl and you think she's going to go out with you, Like,
thought she was going to give up the nappy dugout.
Are you going to yank? Are you going to yank or what? And she's like, you know what? Maybe. Always maybe. And then finally she just says, you know what? No. Then you're like, all right, fine. Then I'll go move on. Wow. Happy birthday to number 1. Crewman Magic's his favorite person.
She's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some better pictures, but I didn't get them all.
How many spankings should we get on her birthday? Oh, 53.
Crewman Sherry, I hear you, but I also say Battlestar and Star Wars and everything else. I'm just a sci-fi fan. I am not a diehard like PVG. PVG is a fanatic.
He's got all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's got Knight Rider in his garage.
This is true, Ultraman. But would you consider Knight Rider a sci-fi show? I just thought about that.
In a way, it's sci-fi. I mean, it's science.
Is it?
It's science fiction. I mean, Knight Rider is a car that can turbo boost over bridges.
It's Kit.
But you literally can do that now.
No.
Yes.
There ain't no car that can
with
say,
enough NOS.
I'm coming, Michael. I'm coming, Michael.
Hey, look at the Tesla. You can do it with a Tesla.
Yeah, but it can't turbo boost over a train. It can't shoot rockets.
If you put enough behind it, you can.
It can't go underwater.
Neither could Kit. Unless it was dying.
Kit could go underwater.
No, negative.
No.
Kit
could survive the normal amount of time a car could survive underwater.
I thought they added like a thing.
No, Magic knows his stuff.
But I thought they added the thing that would cover the wheels on Kit.
Not underwater.
No, dude. You're thinking of like a cartoon.
You're thinking of James Bond, the Lotus Esprit going underwater.
Yeah.
No.
So you're saying James Bond was better than Michael Knight?
Negative.
I mean, technically, you could, in today's society, you could take that Lotus Esprit, add the brain power of a Tesla into it, and mix of both worlds, and it's lighter than the Trans Am, so you would need less boost, and you could take, throwing in the Mach 5 technology, which is simply F1. No. So the jacks, right? I always thought, I was like, how come the Mach 5 jumps like that? I learned later on in life, those are F1 jacks. Like when F1 racers come into a pit, they got to change tires. They literally have the jacks that kick them up, and they're built into the car.
Magic knows.
Hey, by the way, while we're talking about Crewman Sherry, she's in Mexico right now.
Barcelona.
I ain't trying to go to Mexico because there's kind of some tension going on right now. between our countries.
Oh.
And then
So
on
you
top
want-
of that, I hear that like traveling is very difficult right now because like the lack of air traffic controllers and TSA.
So you want
people.
the warm bosom of the Federation.
I would prefer the warm bosom of a United States city. You
That's
know.
the Federation.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to like, I don't know where I'd like to go.
You can't go anywhere. You're locked into your city. Show us your papers.
I would like to
Can't
go
do my
to.
can't do my German accent with a
Ooh.
bald
Oh,
palsy.
you know, I got an Apple Watch now.
Oh,
I'm an Apple Watch person because my
see, now they
Fitbit,
can
my
track
Fitbit,
you.
yeah, my Fitbit died. And because Best Buy's warranty is kind of weird, so I had the Best Buy warranty on the Fitbit, but it only covers the price of the Fitbit when you bought it.
nice watch band, white.
This is the one that came with it.
Mine is orange and black. Westland colors.
That's not Westland orange.
Mine's in the drawer next to my nightstand. Oh, and it's not an Apple Watch; it's a Samsung Gear.
Yeah, well, you're not an Apple user.
But
I'm not.
But
I refuse to go back to Apple ever.
back what you were saying with Crewman Sherry, you wouldn't go to Mexico to.
No.
You know, I kind of agree.
I don't like leaving the country for any reason. I don't care where I'm going. I don't like leaving the country.
I have a coworker. Her name is Magda.
Magdalena?
No, Magda.
Did she ever work
Barcelona?
at Pizza Hut?
No,
Is she from
Magda.
Barcelona?
no.
Oh, that
she's-
was where. Oh wait,
I
Magda.
banged
No.
that chick.
she's
No.
originally
She's
from Mexico.
Vietnam, mate.
She's a
Vietnam?
great.
She already did banged.
She's a great person, you know,
What I
and
like.
She gonna hate you
I
after
just-
this.
I just asked her. I said, "Is it dangerous to go to Mexico on vacation?"
She's from Mexico?
Yes,
Oh.
and she says,
Why you're outing her right now? You know ICE watches this podcast.
Damn, dude.
Never. No, she's
You
cool.
just gave her up
You
to
were
the
about to be like,
marquee.
never mind.
She's cool. No, and she says,
You just gave her up to
there's
Section
places
13.
You can go to, and there's places
She don't live
you
on the
don't go-
third house on
not go
Hanover.
to.
She ain't got a white fence with a blue garage.
Negative.
That ain't her house.
All right, what were you saying? She said it's not. It's not. Actually, I just know like 4 people that just went to Mexico and came back.
I wish Mexico was part of the United States. Not that we took over, but
Fuck
it was
no.
shit. I mean, I wish there were open borders. I wish we were all I
One
would-
big happy family.
Yes,
Like the
absolutely.
Federation.
Exactly.
See, the
Fuck
One
problem
big
that.
happy
is
family in both Mexico and the United States. Get rid of those cartels. You know,
No.
the cartels.
it's never going to happen.
You got to have the
because of,
cartels, though.
You have
it's,
to.
yeah, it's never going to happen because
How do
of
you keep the
all
people in line without the cartels?
No. How do you fight your government without a cartel?
Exactly. Yeah. There's so much crap.
Man, why is my ear shut?
Karen is a fan of Android.
Yeah.
Androids are fully.
So am I. Anything that I don't have, I can't fully access, I don't like. Like the Apple Watch, it took way too much and way too much bullshit.
Oh, is that what you're talking
jailbreak
about?
it.
I don't do jailbreaks. I used to do jailbreaks. I don't do jailbreaks anymore.
I mean, I don't have to jailbreak anything anymore. I install whatever I want on my phone. But Apple, you can only install apps from the Apple Store. I don't like that. I don't like being forced in.
Well, because
into what-
they're
I dropped
tested.
$1,000 on a device, and you're going to restrict me to what I can put on it, and then you're
Crewman
going to limit my
is,
warranty on it as well.
Crewman Sherry says, "I hope I can get home on Saturday."
Because of the snow, the incoming snow.
No, because of the travel restrictions that are going on. Not the restrictions, but the government shutdown. Like there's no TSA, there's no air traffic controllers. So they're canceling a lot of flights.
If you have any problems, let me know. I'll send my jet out. Pick you up.
PVG knows people.
So, I don't know what she's flying. I just saw a video where a lot of airline personnel are telling people, like the one that I watched was Southwest, and they're saying not all of them are shut down. It's the ones that go through major hubs still remain open. If you're not going through a major hub, and I was checking for Phoenix, I don't know, I still do. If you go through Phoenix, you're either getting rerouted to LA, or you're getting canceled, and you gotta find a different way in. But like Chicago, the Chicago hub is the main one. There's like 10 of them that are still open. It's the major hubs, and the international hubs are all open still. Those are the big money makers. It's all the little hubs. You're connecting flights out of Denver. Actually, I think Denver is a big one. Or like Minnesota or Texas. Those aren't large hubs. Those are the ones that are being shut down and flights are being canceled. So I would definitely look up some videos, some YouTubes on where you're flying into to make sure you can route in correctly, or if you need to change.
Wait till Friday. See what happens. I think there's going to be a vote this week.
I don't think I would wait till Friday if it remains staying in another country, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is not coming to get you.
Yeah, but she's on the company dime.
That don't mean shit.
Well, she can stay as long as she wants. They're going to pay for it.
Kermit Sherry says TSA should not be a government agency. Why are they?
Well, what agency will they be?
On their own, private?
Private.
Then they're not held accountable.
Yeah, they would. Why wouldn't they?
Cops aren't accountable. Prisons are not accountable. Prisons are not accountable because 99% of prisons in the United States are privately owned companies that are literally getting kickbacks from the government. They're a private company. They're not government agencies. When you go private, you're not held accountable to anyone other than public opinion.
And if you get paid. All right, let's do a quote. These quotes are going to be pretty easy. These are just going to be fun, easy quotes.
Fun and easy.
Ready?
I put the FU in fun.
Spock,
Nanu.
are you naked?
See, you were talking.
Wow.
Spock, are you naked?
Oh, I know that. Go ahead, Magic. I know this one.
Spock, are you naked?
She's saying it without, it sounds like she's saying it without the right, what is it you always say?
Is that what you're saying?
She's saying,
you don't know.
She's saying the words.
But she's not saying it in the way that the scene was done. So I'm like, I can picture either Kirk saying that to Spock from the Kelvin movies. I could also see, what's her face from Strange New World saying it to him as well.
Negative. It's Pike saying it to Spock while he's in the sack.
Oh, that's right. He's T'Pring. Yeah, it is Strange New Worlds. It's Pike saying it to when Pike interrupts him. Yeah, there you go.
Spock, are you naked? No, Captain.
Not yet. She says, not yet.
Right. He was about to be putting down the dong queasy.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have that communicator?
I do. It's 3D printed, though.
Okay.
It doesn't do nothing. It's static.
Did you 3D print it yourself?
I did not. I got that before I got my printer.
Off of Reddit.
Etsy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All right, here's the next quote. Easy one.
Why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
Magic.
Why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
I got nothing.
Me either. Chat?
But it sounds like Spock saying it to someone. No. It sounds like McCoy saying it to somebody.
Why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
I'm going to give you a hint. Kurtzman era.
Kelvin timeline.
Not the Kelvin timeline, though. Oh, hell. It's Strange New
Oh.
Worlds.
Why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
Yeah, I got nothing. It sounds like it's a conversation with Pike or two Pike.
Why should we ally with your federation?
Easy. You shouldn't. Chris, why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
Oh, let's see.
Remember that scene when they're trying to
See,
bring
the
that?
influence on the word means a lot. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You wouldn't have got that.
if she had said it that way, I'd be like, oh,
What way?
Yeah. With
the
that
way
little
she said it, she
reflection
said it
there.
Why
deadpan.
should we ally with your federation?
And the way you
Easy.
sat down.
You shouldn't. Chris, why would you turn our enemies into your enemies?
See,
I mean, she says, why would you turn?
man, those are the words. Just like you say the words when you put the wrong emphasis on the syllable, it gives it a whole different meaning. Same thing with her.
All right, let's quickly pound through this.
That
trivia.
pause.
Let's go through this trivia. We're going potpourri.
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 The pot is pourri. What material was used to construct the outer hull of the USS Defiant? Duranium alloy, titanium composite, or ablative armor?
This is so easy. Magic, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's so
If
easy.
you say it's easy, you got.
Hey, we learned this at the academy. It's
All right, he's going A. What are you going, Magics? And chat.
I'm going B.
It's B.
oh man, hold on.
But that's all right. You gotta take. You gotta just go with your gut. Even if your gut is wrong, you
man.
go with it.
I just crapped all over myself.
Yeah, shit the bed.
What food does Cisco often prepare to remind him of home? Plummeek soup?
Jambalaya, B.
Jambalaya.
All right, that's too easy.
I would do that. I would eat that.
What rare mineral is essential for warp core containment fields?
Oh man.
Dilithium, latinum, trilithium.
Okay, count of three. 3, 2, 1.
3.
Latinum.
Latinum.
Dilithium crystals regulate matter antimatter reactions in warp cores. From the original series Mud's Women.
K says B. Karen says B.
What was the original purpose of Deep Space Nine before Starfleet took control? A resort colony, a command station, or a trade hub?
Trade hub.
C. Yeah.
No, it was actually a command station
What?
used by the Cardassians.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I thought it was.
I
train
would have
station for
accepted
Bajor.
mining refinement colony.
That's what I
also.
thought it was because they go back and
Yeah,
it's a
that's what I
mining
was thinking.
refinement. That's
But
why
I guess
went with trade
that
hub.
was more of a front though. The mining thing was a front, but really it was like a Cardassian like little secret headquarters station. Yeah, mining.
Yeah.
Who was the first Ferengi to serve in Starfleet? Nog, Krem? Do you remember Krem or Euless?
A. Chat?
Nog. Which substance renders transporters inoperable due to interference? Thoron radiation, chroniton particles, how do you like those syllables, or metaphasic radiation?
I'm gonna say. I want to say A,
Okay, you're going A, you're
But
going B.
B. I'm going B.
but I think it's probably B.
Chat?
All right, make a choice then, A or B. He's
Karen?
going, PVG's going B, so you might as well go A.
Oh, there's always C.
Or you can go C.
Karen, what do
Fuck
you
it, I'll
think?
go C.
Kermit Cherry?
Well, it's A. I was trying to steer you into A.
See, this is where This is where things are a little
Oh, Karen knew it was
Karen
Thoran.
knew.
So I went with Thoron radiation because of Nemesis. But in Nemesis, Data transports
Nemesis.
Picard
Nemesis.
with a personal transporter.
Okay.
Kurbacheri is correct. She got F.
F for Thoron. Oh, that was it. See, we got it short and sweet. We keep it short and sweet.
Keep it 100.
Oh, so I was saying I watched a bunch of episodes of DS9 because my goal is I want to get done with DS9 before Academy starts. So I
You're
wanna
up to 15?
Yeah, so I want to get through I want to get, through 5, 6, and 7, and then hopefully be ready for Academy. Even though technically there's not like a tie into Academy unless they do this thing with finding Cisco.
Nemo. Oh, my bad.
That's the other one.
Because in one of the trailers they showed a screenshot what happened to Cisco.
Right.
So the theory is, the speculation, the rumor is they will dedicate some effort in Starfleet Academy's show and address what happened to Cisco. Because it was never really answered other than, he went off with the Celestials or whatever they're called. What are they called?
Prophets.
The Prophets. Yeah. I watched Fantastic Four on Disney Plus. So
Did you make it through it? The entire thing in one sitting?
not in one sitting. It took a couple sittings.
I still haven't been able to. I've tried it 3 times.
I mean,
and I still can't make it through.
I skipped. There was probably like a 45-minute period in the middle I skipped, but I still understood.
It's like half the goddamn movie.
I know, but you can understand what happens. You don't have to watch the middle. Is just pointless.
This is the latest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already on Disney?
Yeah,
do you
it's
mean
been out
already?
for a while.
Wow.
Well, it was on streaming to rent, but now it's just free on Disney.
I got a question for all y'all. And a bunch of y'all are going to think I'm a conspiracy theorist on this. What I've noticed lately is in my barrage of feeds, videos that are coming out that are AI, but that are becoming so realistic that even I can't tell if it's fake or not. Like normally you could tell an AI video. It's kind of easy to tell, but now it's like, shit. If it doesn't have a human in it, like I just watched one where I think an F-35 is halfway in the ocean and it's on an aircraft carrier. There was wind and everything else moving around like normal video. And it looks like an F-35 was doing a VTOL, missed the edge, went into the ocean and recovered itself. And then the video stops. And I'm like, I legitimately, because you literally see water stream off the bottom of the jet. I'm like, I literally can't tell if that is fake or real. And it became more and more apparent as the week led up to when 3i Atlas was coming into view from the other side of the sun. Now, do you think this is influenced by 3i Atlas and more people are going to be putting out fake news, or the government is going to use this technology to put out fake information about what 3i Atlas is actually doing and flooding our feeds with it so much that we really won't know what's happening until it's possibly too late?
I think people are just using AI. Normal people are just using AI to get views. And they know that if they put out something, like anything related to 3i Atlas or hot girls doing things, it's like AI, like you always see these Star Trek ones, and some of them are funny, like the ones with the like the redneck Star Trek.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So those are funny, where they try to look like the real people. But then there's some that they're just people you don't know. They're just AI, all AI generated, but they're really crisp. So with Star Trek, you can kind of tell if the video is too crisp and sharp, it's probably AI.
Yeah, it's
Because-
almost animation style or 3D rendered style. But I'm talking about, I'm not talking about 3i videos. I'm talking about, I watched a Red Bull video of a car. There was literally, it came a clip where it was showing like Knight Rider, how it drove up to the van, and Mythbusters proved that you could do that.
Right.
Like
I
a
saw
lot of
that
people already
episode.
know you can
Yeah.
do that. Well, this one's like a Red Bull car. It's a Mustang driving into the back of a Red Bull trailer. And then you hear like people moving around. You see the sides of the truck move, and then it backs out, and it's got like a 3D, or not a 3D wrap. It's got almost a full body wrap or a paint job done within like the matter of like 5 seconds. And you're like,
Yeah.
I can't. You literally can't tell if it's fake or real, because normally, like you said, if the person looks too crisp, you know it's fake. But this has all the normal background noise, matches everything. The ground, the leaves, the grass, everything is moving as it should. Yeah, birds flying, not just in the camera, but like off to the side. Shit you would not normally look at. Like flags moving, things like that are happening. And you're like, man, I don't know if this is a mixture of fake or this straight AI.
Have you seen the ones? Have you seen the ones where they're like back in the 80s, and the guy will say, "Hey, you're back. Let's go to Kmart or something," and they'll walk around Kmart, and then he'll say, "Hey, do you remember going to Sears with your dad on the weekends to pick up tools?" And then they'll be doing that, and they're doing all this stuff that that we used to do in the 80s, but it all looks like brand new video.
Right.
But I mean, it's got like a 70s and 80s video feel to it.
Yeah, I've seen the ones with the 70, 80s video overlay on them, because
Yeah.
we could do that in OBS. And for those, I just chalk it up to that's an OBS feed. Or they'll do like, oh, we're watching a VHS tape, and they have the tracking line going through it. But those are all things that you can easily replicate. I'm talking about these look like just regular cell phone videos of people doing the everyday things, and you're like, this legitimately doesn't look extra crispy like it's AI. It looks like real video. Like you go up or down a feed and it looks the same as what is a real video. And it's like, shit, is it going to come to a point where the government's using this? If a normal person can pay for a membership to an AI program and produce this, what's to stop the government from doing that?
Right.
Well,
And
the government's
changing
had
what
this
3i Atlas does.
If we're getting this technology now, then the government's
Exactly.
probably had it for 10 years.
So the reason why I say that is because one of them said, one of the feeds, I pulled it up, and I didn't go deep dive into it. They're like, 3i Atlas came out from behind the sun and it's changed colors again. And then one of them was saying that it's rotating or something has changed about it where it's pulsing different colors. And I'm like, Then another one was like a Chinese satellite orbiting Mars, which I didn't even know China had a satellite orbiting Mars. Is picking up images from it. And I'm like, man, this is just planting the seeds of doubt of trusting what your government's saying. And I thought Star Trek right off the bat. And of course, Section 31.
I think Japan also has satellites around Mars.
I usually look at the comments, and because some of these look so dead nuts that you're not even going to doubt it, I look at the comments to see, hey, maybe there's something that I missed, that somebody else saw. Yeah, you're right. They're incredible.
I mean, until you're able to go to, I was about to say Sears, because I remember back in the day, that's where you could buy telescopes at Sears or Radio Shack. Until you're able to access a telescope of your own where you could see it, I mean, you're kind of literally trusting everyone else to provide you the information. I mean, so one of the things I looked up was when I watched The Martian, and it's right, one of those tiny little things that maybe my own little quirky brain picked up on was that NASA has X amount of days to relinquish images that they capture. So, when Mark Watney was on the planet, they had 7 days to relinquish photos that they took that showed that out of transparency. And granted, yes, that's a fictional movie. I didn't know if that's a legitimate rule or not. I started to look it up and I never really came across it.
I think it is legitimate, but right now they're not doing it because of the government shutdown.
And that's the thing. And that's why, that's kind of what threw it in there. So literally all this started when I watched the JFK the first time, when they're like, we're not going to release, and they said this is based on true facts. They said, we're not going to release these documents until 2020, whatever. And I remember that date because I think it was like 2020 or 2021. I was like, oh shit, they're releasing the Warren report. Oh, motherfuckers finally gonna find out. And that shit got released and it was all redacted for the most part. So, and that's what brought that to me. The forefront of my mind was, wait, what would I do as a government agency? I'm not saying the word because I've already taken like 4 shots. What would I do if I need to legitimately hide that from public view after I've made this big announcement that we're going to be fully transparent, we have X amount of days to release images? Well, if NASA's part of the government, is still part of the government due to government contracts, and that would explain why NASA still operates without private funding, like Elon Musk tried to buy NASA at one point, and it wasn't allowed to, was so that they could retain control over NASA, because NASA would be the first ones to see anything coming into the planet. But you have this publicly known clause of you got to release images or data that you find within X amount of days for public transparency. But if you're still part of the government and the government shuts down, oh no, you can't release anything. And look what happened. NASA was shut down during the time of the
3i Atlas.
The 3i Atlas, one that's closest to Mars, where any of our equipment on Mars, whether it was rover, Voyager, satellites, whatever, could pick up and read signals. And on the way back from behind the sun, and you also have the James Webb Telescope and the Hubble Telescope that are all part of NASA. Oh, but the government shut down. You don't have to release that information.
And I think the shots of the pulsing and the changing colors were from the other countries. I forgot what country it was. Was it Korea or Japan?
There was a lot of other countries that are not held to the same thing.
Yeah.
That NASA is. And it's like, okay. And then somebody said, well, now part of the plume that you would normally see is coming from the opposite direction. And it's like, okay, well, one of them is forward facing from the direction that it's going, in which case, if it's forward facing, you would start to either see a change in direction that it's going, or the rotation would change, or it would be slowing down.
So what are you saying? We should
aliens?
Get out of Dodge?
No, what I'm saying is open the government back up, bitches. Quit being little bitches and let people
stock up on toilet paper.
Let the public know.
I'm reading, but between the lines, Magic. I get your point.
What I'm saying is this: would you rather want to know now so you can prepare yourself, or would you rather wait till the last minute?
Right.
Or never know. Let's say that is a Vulcan spacecraft going by our planet and they completely hide it from us. And they're like, oh, no, it's just a comet. You know, and the government says, oh, well, they'll be back in another 50 years, but don't tell anybody. Would you rather know that or just be like, oh, it was a comet. We won't see it again for another 50 years. Or our children's will see it. Like, would you rather know the truth or stick your head in the sand?
Well, it's just like if you go to Panda Express, would you rather know the truth or would you rather just think it's chicken you're eating?
Open your fortune cookie.
Close to the same.
Just tell me it's chicken.
Open your fortune cookie and it says,
tell me it's chicken.
So
tell me it's chicken.
Would you rather know the truth
or be
blind to it?
Well, it's just like in the Matrix, right?
It's not.
Would you rather?
Let's not compare it. Let's not compare it to a movie. let's compare it to reality. Would you rather know that Three-Eye Atlas is from a sentient species, or would you rather think it's just a comet passing by?
I would want to know if it's a sentient species. But supposedly Halloween was if there was anything going to happen, it would have happened by now.
No, it's still coming. It's still coming back.
It's around the sun. It's coming out around the sun. I'm thinking they would have saw something.
Well, one of the weird things is Three-Eye Atlas is now traveling on the planetary plane, right? So all of the planets around our sun in our solar system, they're all in alignment, right? The way that they revolve around the sun. And Three-Eye Atlas is on that same plane, which they say is very unusual.
So they're in standard orbit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that
So
was deep.
VVT wants to know, Tom, what are your thoughts? Would you want to know?
I don't think I care. I mean, it would be, I don't know what difference it would make. You know, like I saw some lady on a TikTok. She was like, I don't care. Who cares? Are they coming? Are they coming here?
Wouldn't you want to get the bunker ready or?
The bunker is ready.
Yeah, there you go.
See?
See
those two huge boxes
I
right
know.
there?
And all this ammo in the
Amazon
weapons.
commercial toilet paper.
Right. But
Huge boxes.
Next to all your ramen.
I have some.
Oh, you don't have a wait. Do you have a still yet? Have you got yourself a still?
oh shoot! I'm glad you said that. There's no use to live without a still. You need a still.
I don't
That's
have
legit. That's like a legit
No
like
kidding.
either that or a old school pressure cooker, which you can use to create your own still.
That is
You
a
basically
great
need something
point.
to boil water and capture the steam and reduce it down to cold steam to have distilled water for drinking.
I have a pressure cooker.
But it's an old school one with the top where you stick the little metal thing and it's like make all that shit.
Great,
Oh, you know what I
great
have?
point.
I have these things called hydro pens.
Yeah,
So
those.
have you seen those? Like
I have. They're the
kinda like
lifesaver
straws.
Eminence
straws.
out.
Yeah, they're straws. So you can just go outside in a puddle, scoop up a cup of water, you put this hydro straw in it, and when you suck it up, it goes through like 7 layers of filtration to
So
clean the
remember
water.
that thing we were talking about biofilters?
Yeah.
I've heard of those and I've thought about ordering a couple, but then I'm like, you know what? Heat kills. I know heat kills. I've got to trust that this Temu hydrofilter straw which is said to last like 6 or 9 months. Some I think were 3 months. Like, is that really meant to last that long? Like, how long is this meant to last? How much volume can it produce? Like, where do they calculate this figure of how long this straw is going to last? Were they like, oh, you could drink 1 cup of water every day. It'll last 6 months. Or were they like, all right, bro, you can drink, 3 gallons of water every day and this thing will last, 6 months. And there's a large gap there of quality control that you have no idea about. Although you do know heat kills. That
Good
and
night,
making charcoal.
crewman Karen is saying good night, which I think we're about to do.
Good night, Karen.
I haven't felt good today.
What?
I haven't felt good. It's like
It's a dreary, cold, freezing
no,
day.
it's not the cold. It's like I ate too much the other day.
What?
Yeah, how cold is it there?
It's like
It is miserable. Oh, check your smartwatch.
I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
look at the screen. Oh, it's 29.
Damn, that was quick.
It's crazy over here.
29.
We're all gonna die tomorrow.
So it's cold as hey. It's supposed to. It
pneumonia.
might snow,
Yeah.
Damn, y'all already getting the snow?
possibly. I mean,
terrible.
it's November. Last year it snowed in November.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I was in California or
It's just the
Florida.
thing. No, I like the snow. I want to test out my new little Milwaukee.
Snow. Oh, you got that new
Dang.
sweeper.
Yeah, my rubber
It is
sweeper.
currently 77 degrees in the room right now in my studio.
Oh no, how much is it outside? Because in here it's pretty good. It's probably like 72 in here right now.
Alexa, what's the temperature?
Nothing.
Alexa, what's the temperature?
She gave up.
It's currently 61 degrees.
Oh, that's not
Today's
bad.
high will be 78 degrees with a low of 49.
Do you have Alexa here? Alexa, what's the temperature?
63 in here.
In here, which is pretty comfortable. It's like 20 below outside.
Well, it
So
was
I'm
72 when we started.
So I've been watching. I was watching these feeds on YouTube, like tiny home feeds, people making houses out of like the little sheds from Home Depot and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And that traveled to people buying train cargo containers, container houses.
Oh yeah.
And then I've now moved into van life. I started on
Van life
van
is
life a
good.
while ago, and I somehow got migrated back. I was doing camping where people were like, "Oh, I bought $500 from Temu. Can we survive on it?" Or we spent $1,000 at Walmart. Can we survive on this? And then I got into van life again. So I'm
We'll
watching
get
a
into
couple
a
feeds.
farmer looking for a wife.
What?
It's a show.
Have you been doing this lately, last couple of years, or what?
Looking at van life feeds and survival feeds.
Right.
Survival feeds I've always looked into because I've always had the whole
Prepper.
prepare for the worst, hope for the best, plan for the worst. And when I finally got a job in a position where I could make some money and do that, I started doing that. The tiny home thing came from, honestly, when I had that little condo off Country Club, where I had that little 1-bedroom studio apartment, I was like, this is perfect for me as a single person. But then I always had people that needed a roommate, like Mike. He needed some. Well, first, I learned later, Mike is very codependent. I don't know if he's aware of that or not, but he has to have someone there. But also for financial, he needed someone to live with him to make the house he wanted, make an affordable living. So I lived with a lot of people, and I have no problem with that. Me and Mike know each other since high school. But I realized it's nice to have a house, but when you lose all those roommates and other people there, a house is a lot for one person. So like the house that I had over on Western, that 3-bedroom house with a large living room and a den and a large backyard where I had Bastion, that was way too much for me. I lost so much money because I was spending so much on electricity to have my sections where I was actually at warm and livable. You know, I got to a point where I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go buy firewood and use my fireplace during the winter. Summertime, it was just like, all right, open all the doors and let the cold air in. Portable AC units and things like that weren't really cost effective at the time. Or I'd literally be like, yo, Tom, let's go kill some scorpions. I'm coming over. I'd go to Tom's house and kick it over there. And he's got AC. You know, I'd go do something else or go out on the bike. But I realized that living in a big house, as a single person without a wife, kids, I don't need all that.
Mm-hmm.
So like the van life, I'm literally looking at this one called Nomadic Introvert. She reminds me, I looked at it, I started following her because she looked like Deborah when Deborah shaved her head off. And I was like, what? I was like, she got divorced, lost the kids, and oh, that's not Deborah. But then I got hooked on her channel where she's driving a Sprinter van out in Michigan. She's going through winter. I'm like, I'm looking at the vehicles on how big they are, like how much headroom you got, how much space. And I'm thinking, would I be able to do this? And then I'm thinking, Scotty, if this were as big as a shuttlecraft, I think I could do this. Delta Flyer, definitely not. But a regular shuttlecraft, like you could live out of a shuttlecraft and be comfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
out
yeah.
here there's a Magda. Magdalena,
What the hell's a Magda?
Yeah.
the girl.
What?
See, there you go. There's your van life partner, Magda.
Oh, it's a van lifer there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's certain things that I'm like, okay, I think I can pull it off. The isolation part, really not a big issue.
You can get Wi-Fi. You can get what's that Wi-Fi you put on your roof now?
Skylink.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starlink, and there's a couple other. T-Mobile also has one.
Yeah, T-Mobile's
So-
pretty good.
That's really not an issue. I mean, I could do that, but I
Sprinter van?
honestly, I think the hardest part would be driving around all day. Like if I were driving, because like,
And
so
where would you dump your litter? Your
so with her
Bio
channel,
On the road.
so
you're
when,
on the
just
road.
let it drop.
when I first started watching her channel, she's like, I'm not going to be one of those
Fan
people
just
that you
dropped
see.
doo-doo.
So
Doo-doo.
you have those people that just do it like, oh, we're in Nice, we're van lifers, we're gonna go travel here and here and here. And it's like, no, this is me living everyday life. Like I have a job, I'm choosing to live in this. Those people are like, oh, we retired and we're gonna go travel across the country. We're gonna travel to all the states. And they don't show you all the stuff that she does. So like dumping your wastewater and your gray water. You can just go to any campground, pay to camp there for a night, and you can dump them. They usually also have potable water there. I did not know that there's a lot of places where you cannot overnight camp, even if you're in a vehicle. You can't overnight camp in their parking lots, like certain Walmarts. But apparently,
Oh.
Cracker Barrel is a big one where they're like, yeah, you can stay overnight here. They have a 3-day limit, but you can park in their parking lot
Wow.
where it's safe, and as long as you're not panhandling or doing some other shit, they're perfectly okay with you overnight camping in their parking lot.
Magic. I used to drive for FedEx, and I drove a Sprinter van,
Right.
and it had a diesel engine. And I'm 5'11". I can walk without touching my head in there. So I don't know how tall you are.
I'm 5'11".
Huh? You would not have a problem in there.
So the Sprinter vans, yes, I see that a lot of those are bigger. And there was actually a dude that bought an old school FedEx van, and man, that was some issues. There's people that buy old U-Haul vans, or U-Haul trucks, and convert them into sleeper shells. And there's a lot of them where people are like tiny as hell, and they're like, oh yeah, you just crawl in here and you cook here, and they're sitting on their bed, which is the front of their kitchen. I'm like, that's too much bending over
Yes.
and
yes.
living in a cave. I don't want that. I need to be able to stand up, or sleeping. I want to be able to lay flat, like stretch my legs all the way out, not just, oh, well, you have to sleep diagonal this way. And then if you do this, you can prop your pillows up. I'm like, can't do that. But these bitches are expensive. 30,000,
Oh my gosh,
80,000.
yes, they are.
So
For sure.
I
all
thought
right.
about that. I was like, hey, maybe I'll when things happen, if I get any money, or if I just retire and take my 401k and buy a Sprinter van and travel across, come visit y'all and park on your on your lot.
There you go.
Get hooked up to shore power. That way I can dump my gray
PVG
water.
will accept your waste.
You dump it in the creek. I don't care. Hell yeah.
Just do like in airplanes when you flush the toilet and then you can see the clouds.
What airplane were you ever
My
on? where
poop is
that
gonna
happened?
hit someone in the head. Flying tigers.
You're talking about some 1978 airplane out of Shanghai or something.
With propellers, like a 747 with propellers. All right, we're gonna wrap. Hey, don't forget, subscribe and
Share.
share. Yeah, kind
Like,
of
share, and subscribe.
Like a lot.
Yeah, so do that and check out our shorts. And put some
Stank on it.
stank on it.
Stank.
Check out our shorts, and when you're watching our shorts, put some comments in the shorts of some ideas, some talking conversation points, stuff like that. We'll bring it up. If you didn't get into our live chat, thanks to Crewman Karen, and crewman Sherry. But yeah, let's wrap it.
Yeah,
so
thank Crewman Patty for doing the shorts.
Yes, always.
She did shorts, but you know, I kind of did something new this week. I did
What'd you
3
do?
shorts this week that were just movie clips. No crewman Patty.
Okay.
I just took clips straight from movies. First Contact. No. One was from All Good Things, the 2-part episode of TNG.
Right.
And then one was from Voyage Home, the THO one.
Oh yeah. I definitely saw that one. I saw that one.
I mean,
was like,
those have done really well. The
I didn't
First
see the other
Contact
one, though.
the First Contact has over 16,000 views,
I gotta see that one. I haven't seen that one yet.
and
We got a few subscribers from that.
yeah, like 21 subscribers from that video alone. The one with THO has like 16 or like 12,000 views, and I think we got like 11 subscribers. So that one's done all right. So, but no, crewman Patty is going to get back in the studio soon because I've used up all her material. The only thing I have left now are quotes. And I use those quotes for our show.
What do you mean you've used up all of her material?
Well, because she did a whole bunch of short material, but I have another 7 scripted out for her to read. So, and then I have, and so I don't know if you noticed, but I did a couple shorts where it's us, you know, like, TikToks. I think I did some TikToks where it's us.
The
Do you want
funny
to talk
stuff.
of the ticks?
Yeah. Like with the gynecologist one, the Munchauser's one.
Oh, yeah.
But so I created like 10 little intros to those that Patty will read that just say, just in case you missed last week's episode, here's a super funny clip for you. You know, stuff like that.
All right. So I got a suggestion. I'm being dead ass, as the kids say.
6, 7.
We need, and I just want to see how well it does. So you may have to create a new account under a totally different name, like DJ Dipsy, and post it. But you need to have her do that kind of recap and be like, look at these 3 dumbasses they're talking about. This is some old bullshit. Like, from the point of view of a wife, like being like, why are you guys doing this? This is so
I
dumb.
mean, she could do. Why can't she do that on this account?
That's a good idea.
I mean, she can, but I think that would be funny.
I was gonna create an account called Tech Trek Shorts, you know, or
Okay.
Tech Trek Clips, you know, just something separate.
But basically, someone talking shit about our show, like not in depth, but like, look at these dumb motherfuckers out here playing like they're 15-year-olds again.
3
These
Stooges.
Yeah, just cussing and all. Like, just let
No,
those out
I
there.
could do that.
I think those would be hilarious.
All right,
Oh man.
we'll do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll get her back in the studio. All right, well, we're gonna wrap.
And my old lady can.
Yeah.
Yeah, your old lady didn't even want to sit in the chair.
No, I know. I'm still waiting.
Oh,
So how is she gonna do a short if she won't sit in the chair?
a lot of pressure.
She'll
You just got to sneak up with the camera.
Magic. You have to friend her on Facebook, and you'll see her. She's not afraid to go in front of the camera. I mean, she's got chicken videos and stuff because we got chickens and
Horse videos and
stuff
farm
and-
videos and crops.
so.
And shrimp.
See, there she is. Oh, she's
Old
calling
lady,
you
locks-
out.
Locks have been changed. I'm.
Hey,
You know what? I had no idea she watched
in the
this.
bike world, an old lady is a term of endearment.
There you go.
Oh, that was
That's
the other
my
thing I'm
case.
looking for. I need to find a sprinter van that I can add a motorcycle tow to the back that goes parallel, so I can have it attached to it.
Parallel.
Yeah, so they have these motorcycle, basically kind of like cages. You mount it to the back of your truck or vehicle,
Yeah.
and like think of like you're riding up perpendicular to a truck, and you ride up onto the ramp so that your bike is almost laying up against the truck bed or van bed, So it's being blocked in wind versus being trailered behind you on a totally separate piece of equipment with its own wheels. I'm looking for a van that would be able to support that because that's, you know, a boost is a lot of weight to carry.
One of those vans with no windows.
What kind of bike you got?
I had a Hayabusa.
Okay.
That's a crotch rocket.
Wow.
1300 RR.
There you go.
It's fast. Okay, we're out. We're out.
Nanu.
Yeah, Nanu. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Kapla.
Thanks, JVG,
You stole mine.
for hanging
You
out.
finally stole one of my ideas. And
Did you say
used it against
kapla?
me.
Kapla.
Kapla.
He dropped a kapla. I will drop a kaplow.
You said a nanu.
Nanu's all right.
So.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you guys next Sunday. Peace.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
I can't find the button.